Because we have 2 wells, the wells require a ruby or sapphire to start, so if we play one of these on one, we won't have any of our colors, so we have to replace an otherwise pretty reasonable hand, which sucks. It's unfortunate. 1 resource and not an ice. Try 5. It's okay. Little awkward that we don't have double ruby for Scars of War, but Dark Heart's one of our cards to definitely help us catch back up. One's playing Blood Ruby Haraza. Interesting. So not a Ginger Cakes evening. Has a discard spell to take our Scars of War away. Tilt. Alright, well, play Dark Art on 4 guaranteed. I suppose. Yep. Alright, well, I guess I'll Fate Weave a non-resource to the top here. Some action next turn, hopefully. Our champion, Sharpshooter Sahas, 5 charges, draw 2 cards, discard a card at random. High starting health total, though, worth noting. Start with 20, 24, so a little bit of room to use our health total as a resource against the decks like this. Vampire Prince, yep. Second Dark Art's actually a bit of a liability here, because opponents playing Blood, so they could have access to Hero Fall in their deck, and if they Hero Fall or Dark Heart in play, it's going to take the second Dark Heart out of our hand, so it's a little bit scary. And they know we have this Dark Heart from the turn when they're engaged, so they're probably going to hold removal up this turn. Well, unfortunately, I just don't have anything else going on, so I'm just going to play this. If they have a Hero Fall, I'm just going to go ahead and move to the next game. I think this Hero Power is fine. This Hero Power technically generates card advantage. Never don't have it. Alright, so what are we doing here? Scars of War probably isn't particularly good. I don't know, we're not 100% on what our opponent's doing. Again, one of the small liabilities of playing Control deck in a new format. Stifling Sting seems fine. Virtue of the Ancient Kings maybe isn't very good. Even the grilled cheese versus cats. Yeah, I don't think Lixel might be worth trying in here. I don't know. It's probably worse than Dark Heart though, honestly. I want to trim a Dark Heart against... I'm going to trim a Dark Heart against the Hero Fall deck and bring an extra Candlelight as a win condition. Let's do this. Again, not 100% sure what our opponent's playing. So probably similar to the Scorpionox deck that people played last season. Hopefully keep more than 5 cards this time around. See, it's kind of mediocre. I'm going to keep it on the play. Keep it on the draw too. We've got a Runebind to slow them down a little bit. Hopefully we hit our 3rd shard drop. This would be an easy keep if we had an ice. It's kind of sketchy as is. Let's see what we get here. I guess it's kind of a liability having the Psychic Ascension in the opener against a deck that's full of Withering Gazes. Alright, well, I mean, we hit a shard next turn. This was the best possible draw this turn. Apples Pie. Happy Thanksgiving, Jeff. This is for the green Belcher deck I tweeted you about. Sounds good. I will add it to my queue. Thank you for the donation. That queue is stacked. We played 3 donation decks this morning. That queue is still stacked up. I'm going to go ahead and dingle that. Just keep that off the table. Hopefully in a non-slow shard here so we can bounty next turn. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. It also enables Stifling Sting. So Bounty of the Magus is an escalate card here. It draws one card, and then it puts itself back into my deck and increases the number on all my bounties by one. So the first bounty draws one card, the second bounty draws two cards, etc. Stifling Sting we also have up here as well. A lot of the cards in this deck are quick. Deals 3 damage to an opposing champion or troop. If we deal damage to a champion, this way we get to interrupt every action that costs 3 or less that's on the chain. Opponent just has casual no plays here. That'd be awesome if we just get to jam this Bounty of the Magus. Blamsmith. Yeah, I don't really care about that. It's just like a 2/2, so go ahead and cast this bounty. Hopefully find our way to our 4th resource. Swing and a miss on the 4th resource. I guess we're just passing back. Because we have these Runebinds, we probably want to wait until 5 to play our dark card out. Take a little nug for 2 here. Again, just like not super worried about this. We have 24 health to start with, so get to use that as a resource for a good while here. Do you have opponents? ZX Judgment. Well, this is great. Alright, I'm going to Stifling Sting you, which will deal 3 to them and then interrupt their ZX Judgment. This card. You didn't need that one, did you, opponent? That also, you saw there, my Flame Barrage ticked up. Well, this is in our hand. Whenever we play an action, it gets to deal 1 extra damage, so it's going to be able to kill the Blamsmith here at some point. Take a nug for 2 here. Again, just use my health total as a resource. They might play something that we need to discombobulate. Deathcry, Summon, and Abomination. I don't really care about that, right? I'm just gonna let that happen. I'm gonna go ahead and Flame Barrage this Storko, so we just like traded one thing on the table for another. It's got 1 more power, but it's not too huge of a deal. Not just gonna play the dark card out again because I want to play it with Runebind up to protect it, I think. Wait on 1 more resource. We have a couple copies of Return to Cinder in our deck right now. We could use that to kill or avoid Nefarious Corruptor so they don't get the trigger from their gem. Lasgar's Bloodsworn. Yeah, that's fine. Slow Shard, huh? Alright, I'm gonna do this. Put a non-resource on top of my deck here. Pass the turn. I guess we're getting a little bit close to needing to use these Runebinds a bit defensively. Falling behind on board here. Probably just like snap discombobulating anything they do this turn. Okay, the fact that they... I think I'm just Runebinding this to preserve my life total. Let's get that out of there. Take 3. Cockatrice, that's a beating. Can't interrupt that one. Nope, no siree. Alright, well, we've got Dark Card's gonna keep their board in check, which is nice. And we've got Runebind to answer 1 thing to clear our Dark Card, and we've got Stifling Sting to answer another here, so go. It's gonna make them sacrifice this rune, so this Lasgar's Bloodsworn's never gonna come back. Oh, it's Thanksgiving dinner like at the Hoagland home. Christy made a bunch of casseroles. She made ham for her and the kids. I don't do meat, so I'm gonna Runebind my Dark Heart here. Probably responded to with Hero Fault. Nope. Good deal. We're gonna take 5 here though, which is not a small amount of damage. Down to 9. We've got 2 cards left in hand. Our champion power next turn can give us kind of some better ability to re-trigger this if we don't draw a resource for the turn. We hit a resource right away, so because we hit a resource right away, I'm just going to go ahead and pass back. I'm not going to play this resource because I want to hold it in my hand to potentially discard to my champion power later, but I don't want to risk discarding the Stifling Sting because this will protect my Dark Heart from something like a Hero Fall. Yep, alright. So, blast you, counter your Hero Fall, interrupt your Hero Fall. And then this guy, Darker, just holds the fort here. They're kind of in like the holding pattern. We lost our Psychic Ascension to a Cockatrice. We've got 2 copies of Candlelight in my deck. That's kind of scary. That's a 5/5, so that outclasses my Dark Heart. Looking for a Runebind. Dingle right on time. That's just 3 cards in my hand I don't want. Discard Bounty of the Magus. What a great. Are we off this champion power yet? I might be off the champion power. Just. Oh, that's too perfect. All right, good beat. Let's try one more. I like to give them 2 runs before I sigh and then I hit the delete button. I like to try them twice before I sigh and go, all right, this is a bad control deck, and then hit the delete button. I've got a Blood Sapphire mill deck that Andrew's been playing on the ladder that he said he likes a little bit, and then I think I want to brew with Pipit Hustler and maybe Timothy a little bit. I don't know that Timothy's necessarily playable, but Pipit Hustler is a card that I am going to break in half at some point in this format. For before Pipit Hustler rotates, I'm going to have 4 of them in a deck that I enjoy playing. Everything I want to do in life. There is the wild trip that put 7 Dreadlings in your hand. You're not wrong. Alright, playing against Novocaine. Yeah, same seems fine. Again, kinda wish that I had another resource, but I get 2 draw steps before we're gonna miss our 3rd. I'm probably playing some kind of Diamond Wild deck. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Hopefully give us something to Cinder or Flame Barrage here. One thing that's really sweet is I think this card lines up really well against the Diamond Wild deck. Notably, it can kill... it kills the Goldfather without giving them an activation and making a coin. This is an activated ability when you reveal it from your hand that's not playing a card. So my main deck doesn't have any double Sapphire cards outside of Psychic Ascension, and we've got Scars of War, double Ruby, so we want to prioritize getting double Ruby. Speaking of, we're going to bounty in response so they don't make a thing. Hopefully we hit a shard next turn. No, I haven't played in the rock events. I'm not really the target audience for the rock events, I don't think. So do I want to give them value is the question. I don't think so. I think I want to just kill this Shamrock. It's unfortunate that I'm going to miss a resource drop now, but I think I want to just clear that out of there. It would have been perfect if we had a resource there, because then we could hold up some stuff. Flame Barrage is at 2 currently. We have another Goldfather, we're going to feel a little bit bad. That one's fine. Not super worried about that. At some point, Flame Barrage or Dark Heart will clean up the Pipit Pal. We get 4 shots at hitting another resource next turn between our draw step and this change course. What's going on, Tom? Right, do this now. Hopefully, a non-slow shard. Holy shit. We are running so bad tonight. That's obscene. So we cantripped on 3 and then missed on 4 and then drew and then changed coursed on 5 and missed again. That's a tilt. Like if we could hold up Dingle here, we'd be in a pretty great spot. Hailstorm. That's that's a thing. Where they fate weave, they summon a Hailhawk. Huh. Sure. I feel like this return to Cinder is not going to get a lot of value here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and burn it on this Hailhawk to push my Flame Barrage up. Never mind. We're going to burn it on that one. 10 out of 10. She's not going to do anything for a little while, but worth getting out of here. Alright, well. Second course, same as the first. Whew. I'd have been pretty salty if we missed again there. Not going to lie. Would have salted off. I think I'm just gonna Flame Barrage this because they could use it to turn their Hailhawk into a 7/7 next turn, which seems scary. If Runebind to delay something if they play it out. It's possible I'm supposed to hold up Dingle though. What's going on, Immortal? Yeah. Yep. So they have a guidance here. It's gonna get dumpstered. No guidance. Good beat. Shard. Okay. That's not exactly what I wanted, but it'll do. Read another resource on top of my deck here. So now this turn, if they get to recast the Goldfather, we can Dingle it. And if they don't recast it, we can Bounty the Magus. Sweet. Alright, this one draws 2 now. We should be well on our way to snowballing at this point. Sabretooth, excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and Fate Weave a non-resource to the top of my deck at this point. So I'm going up to 7 guaranteed next turn. I'm not gonna play the Dark card out until I have Discombobulate as well. Hailstorm does seem very good with the coins, I agree. Another Dark card, that's pretty good. Play that out. I assume they have removal of some sort in their hand, right? Either that or they're like holding resources. I think this is fine. I have the Dark Heart and I have the Primordial Sabretooth. I'm gonna let this happen because I'm gonna have this other Dark Heart come out. Like, be a little conservative with what I'm interrupting here. Well, maybe just like 2 Dark Hearts out is like icing on the cake. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this Dorko. And now I have Dingle plus Bounty up for next turn. I'm just gonna try and hit a resource here, actually. This draws 3. I'm still gonna have Dingle up next turn, guaranteed, even if I miss. Which we did, because that's all I'm doing tonight, is missing. Hey, not salty at all. I'm a little bit salty. That's fine, we're at 17, so we're not quite in danger of dying just yet. Didn't get the change course here, which ticks my Flame Barrage up, which is nice. They probably have more Decree of Banishings in their deck, right? Perfect. Would love a Runebind to protect my Dark Heart. Candlelight, that's pretty good. Let's play you out. They're gonna lose their Hawk. Another Hawk. When the Kriya Banishing comes down, I'm going to Runebind my Dark Card, I think. Yeah, I think 4 Decrees is pretty standard. It's just like a pretty quality piece of removal, right? Like, one of the reasons Dark Card is good, though, too. Yeah, so I'm going to let this happen, because I can still dingle a troop if they play it this turn. This does give them a dead card to sacrifice, which is good for them. Play this, and now with 2 Discombobulates up, we should be pretty locked and loaded. Maybe this champion power is just bad. Could be that this champion power is just pretty bad. So Discombobulate interrupts the card, and then we each generate a random card that we make the thresholds to play. And basically, it's like, I made a second Candlelight. Sweet. So Candlelight, in addition to blasting something for 6, gives every other action we control in all zones Illuminate 1. Streaming Fox is set out into the champion we want, right? I think Discombobulate's like a playable card. Like, set the bar like slightly low, I think it's playable. Yeah, I'm just gonna dingle this. I don't want them to really get a coin, I don't think. That gives them another Hawk, too. It's fine. Candlelight kills that one. So 6 to a champion or troop, so blast you. All of our actions illuminate 1, like that one. Yeah, packs it in. Ratings on the wall at that point. Alright, so ramp. I think I want the extra Sabretooth against the Goldfather deck. This doesn't seem like a matchup where Scars of War is particularly good. I guess they had Daughter of the Poet, but Cinders doesn't seem particularly good outside of that. Bringing the Pyre Strike is an extra way to kill the Goldfather. Candlelight seems fine. I think 1 Verdict the Ancient King is fine. I probably don't want more. Maybe the Cinders are just fine because of like the Daughter of the Poets. Could see maybe Stifling Sting being okay. Oh, Scars is good against Hailstorm. Yeah, okay, that's true. I like that. I'll leave 2 of those in. Yeah, I like that better. Good call. Good call. Alright, let's try this configuration. I don't know, do I want to bring in Disruptor Drone to kill Hailstorms? Oh, I guess it kills Kriya Banishing too, right? It's actually pretty good. You don't need this extra Candlelight. This probably is not a Psychic Ascension matchup. What if they have to leave Decrees in against me? They might board the Decrees out, which is maybe less of a reason to bring in all 3 Disruptor Drones. Maybe 2 drones was a better hedge, since I know they're almost certainly leaving in Hailstorms. It's fine. It's like not exciting, but I think it's fine. Mulliganed. I'm gonna keep it on the draw. We got a Fate Weave to guarantee at least 1 piece of action in the first few turns. Every batch is a PA batch, right? Candlelight's like a similar effect that like also impacts the board, which is nice. Sweet. So we're gonna have a change course on We're gonna have a change course on 2 after we Fate Weave a non-resource at the top here. So we'll get to dig into a couple of pieces of action here. Hopefully find something to do on 3 before we play Dark Heart on 4. Second Diamond, sure. His resource base is probably skewed towards Diamond. Ooh, Dingle is the perfect draw. Dingle is so, like, Dingle and Sabretooth I think are like really well positioned against, like, again, the powerful 3-drops like the Goldfather. No, Candlelight's a card that was from set 7. Just there was never really a good Ruby-based control deck to leverage it. Scars of War sounds great. And like end step Scars of War to clean up any poopers they made, and then like untap and Darkheart to kill the Hailstorm. And thinking about getting into Hex, I've played Hex since 8th edition. Is there anything I need to know before getting into Hex? I have a, yep, there we go. How to Hex article right there. Talks about a lot of the things Hex does a little bit different than Magic. Thanks, Shiny Duck. Or some budget decks. Honestly, my best piece of advice, and this is coming from someone who's a constructed junkie. So if you're a constructed junkie like me, just go pick up the cheapest of my budget decks there and just play the ladder a bunch and get a feel for the game and the deck. Like the cheapest deck on there I think right now is $15, which is a very minimal amount of money. And it's competitive enough to give you a feel for whether or not you enjoy the game, and you can either use that to grind more in-game currency, or you can, you know, find out you like the game and then, you know, pay more and build a better deck after that. Yep. Yeah, no. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in chat. Always happy to field questions, answer questions, stuff like that. I'm not... Sharpshooter Sahas basically just did nothing. What's this guy do? Create a copy of target troop you control, put in your hand, just like 10 charges. That's like never happening. Malzok. We can't just play Nineveh because we're playing Dark Hearts. Awesome, Eladoc. See, look, there's a satisfied person right there. And that list is legal for Standard, and it's actually only 2 cards off of being legal for the Rock format, which is the no rares format. Sparrow could be okay, but like I'm kind of drawn to the high health total. That I feel like 21 is like slightly too low of a health total. Like I'm more interested in like the 20, 23, 24, 25s, which is part of the reason why I picked Sharpshooter. It just isn't really a great champion for what I'm looking to do that's legal and Standard. I guess I could play like Malzok, stun target exhausted troop. This like buys us time. It's probably not unplayable. But at that point, like, I'm at 22. Should I just play Blue Sparrow at 21? I'm gonna give Sahas one more run here. We've activated him once tonight. It was a tilting experience, but I'm really like the 24 health is just like such a big draw for me. Let's play one more with this. 1 or 2 more. We'll see how quick they go. Swamp Butt and Puff the Rainbow. Yep. Swamp Butt is okay with Candlelight. You're not wrong. Not wrong. Finds an opponent so I can queue in. Man, it's been a while since I've done some evening hex. I'm doing stream mostly in the mornings. And the kids are sleeping and Christy's out shopping, and I clean most of the kitchen. Waffle House. Yeah, Thanksgiving was good. Just quiet at home. Wife and I, all of our immediate family is our immediate family's all up north in Chicago, so just the four of us here. I'm only 16th. Alright, playing against what's likely another control deck. Anon. How do we pronounce this? It's Ad-Eon Zedek. I'm just going to call him Zedek. So 3 charges, Verdict. This hand's plenty keepable here. We've got our 1 main deck, Verdict of the Ancient Kings, and Discombobulates. Golden Corral, man. Man, my stomach twitches just thinking about Golden Corral. It's one heck of a restaurant. By that I mean I don't know if I like it or hate it. I think I'm going to hold up Verdict of the Ancient Kings here because I'm probably willing to Verdict a Zedek's Judgment on 3 here. This is a matchup where it might be a little bit awkward for us game 1. We have a number of cards that are a little bit medium minus in our main deck. Although I guess that's a... Opponent summons a Daybreak. Yeah, you can have a Daybreak. Enjoy. It's Dark Heart fodder later, I guess. Scars of War. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play the Ruby and pass the turn. I don't think I want to play a Naked Dark Heart on 4 against a Hero Fall deck anyways, especially not with another one in hand. So this way, if they commit more to the board, we could potentially get multiple things with Scars of War. I'm probably going to take a hit from this Vampire Prince, then like end step Scars. They don't give us something to Verdict or Discombobulate. Alright, they flipped over a resource off our deck. Play another Prince out. Nope. The one in my area failed its food safety audit. That seems bad. Just want to Discombobulate. I think I'll take a random. Interrupt that. Get Surly Brawler. Alright. Get a little frisky. Put a non-resource on top of my deck here so the Vampire Prince doesn't get to draw it. Yeah, and you got to keep in mind, the interface on my screen's a little bit cluttered because I've got, like, the chat and my picture and stuff. When you're actually playing on your own computer, it's a little bit less crowded. Huh. And change course. So find Candlelight is probably pretty good. They probably can't beat... Probably gonna have a hard time beating a Candlelight that comes down early. Another Scars of War, okay. These slow shards are catching up with me a little bit here. I don't really want to hit my champion power unless we're in danger of missing a shard drop, so I really don't want to bin my Candlelight. My Verdict of the Ancient Kings. Plus or minus depending on how you take it, right? I'll take another hit from this, again just holding up Verdict of the Ancient Kings. Oh no, my bounty, said. So if they just pass again here, I'm going to Scars of War. Yep, you're going to have +1/+1. I'm going to kill it anyways. So again, the Verdict mechanic, for those that are newer to Hex or just haven't played Dead of Winter yet, it presents two choices when you verdict to your opponent. One is a positive choice for you, one is a negative choice for them. Huh. I'm gonna hit this. Don't bend my Candlelight, please. Alright, we lost a Runebound. Guess I'm gonna play this Dark Heart out. I've got these Runebinds to protect it. Strangle. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save him. That's fine. Oh. Oh wow. We just got outplayed. Alright. I almost just let the Strangle resolve too. So that was a good line by my opponent. They led on the less good piece of removal. And then got us with the one that actually mattered, and we had another Dark Heart in my hand, so they were able to just take that right on out of there. What's this thing do? Boy and Deathcry verdict. +1/+1. Kill your dork. Yeah, right? Okay. I'll pass the turn and probably Scars of War this before it hits us. I have a Nightfall. Well, maybe giving them a Nightfall is bad. I really don't have a strong way to interact with those with my Dark Hearts gone. I 10 out of 10 should have just let that... What are we doing here? Wait, you're just like getting my Dark Heart back into play? What's going on here? Sure. I think I'm okay with that. I'm gonna take their constants off the table. Like, I wasn't sure I was gonna get rid of these, but now, like, this is gonna make them sacrifice them. Play this Surly Brawler out to chump block their Dark Heart for a turn. They've been gaining health with this Daybreak, and they hit us with a Vampire Prince a few times. I'm to use for this Surly Brawler. Their Dark Heart's just a 4/4, it doesn't even have Swift Strike. Drawing a 6th resource at some point would be nice so we could use this Candlelight. I don't understand. My opponent played so well earlier, I don't know what that line was about. My thing was a 2/2 and theirs was a 4/4. Oh, almost never. I've never... The only time I have ever timed out of a match, I was playing on a netbook that didn't meet the minimum system requirements for Hex, playing a control deck, and I was playing on my mobile internet that kept disconnecting. To set the stage for what it takes to time out in Hex. Verdict, draw a card. I want to do this. I think this is fine. Really want to... I guess I'll let you draw an extra card. I really want to Candlelight this turn. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'll shoot this. Hopefully I don't play something like Twilight Eclipse this turn. I think they played the resource right. If they go like resource into Journey into Nightmare, I'm going to be pretty sad. Nothing. Playing nothing is amazing for us because now I get to ready with Verdicts and Dingles and Runebinds. I have Sabretooths. Sabretooth's not stellar in this matchup, but I guess we're almost at 7. Yeah, that's fair. Just shouldn't have attacked, so I have to sacrifice it anyways. I mean, like, the waiting game is great. Like, I've resolved a Candlelight, and, like, there's a Psychic Ascension somewhere in my deck. So, like, generally the deck with Psychic Ascension in it is favored when it comes to the waiting game. Even if I was a big dumb stupid and ended up getting my Hero Fall, yeah, you can have a Phantom. My Dark Heart Hero Falled. Guess I'm just passing here. I really don't want to tap out for one of these. Probably just wait till 9. I might burn one of them just to kill this Phantom. We'll definitely burn it if they play something else. Alright, verdict that. I don't want you to, verdict your card that's going to verdict. Verdict of the Ancient Kings, your card that's going to verdict us. I guess I could Sabretooth with just 1 up next turn when I have Runebind. And I can Runebind to protect it. They're at the casual 40 here. One's got 6 cards in hand though, so I'm assuming they just have like a fistful of like removal and sweepers, right? That's what it feels like. It's one of those awkward like control mirrors where game 1 neither of us have a ton of cards that matter. Perfect. Alright. So this Sabretooth has the activated ability to pay 2 to put it back into my deck and deal 5 damage or something. It also could just be cast as a 7 cost 5/4 with speed. Alright, beep beep, I'm a Jeep. I mean, like, 5 power Dorko is going to close the game pretty quickly. Probably has a From the Ashes coming out here. Bride of the Damned. Let's ring-a-ding-ding that one. Illuminate, make another candle. Give another bride. That's pretty scary. So this verdicts, and it lets them choose the outcome of the verdicts. Yep. Hopefully we hit my Psychic Ascension here soon, or like, what's it called, a Bounty of the Magus to start doing stuff. Do this, shoot their Dingler. Again, they're at 39, we got 9 power now, so let's just like take them to Pound Town here, hopefully. One of our bounties is down. I want to hit my champ power, and I think with the cards that I have in my hand, I'm pretty happy to just like hang out. So all their verdict cards are much scarier now because of Twilight Justice. They get to choose the outcome of the verdicts. That's a From the Ashes, yep. Now the upside here is, because I have the Sabretooth underneath this Mysterious rune, I do get to, like, get 3 shots at a resource for flipping this thing back out and killing their Sabretooth next turn. Dingle the crap out of that one. Alright. Start on this, see what we find. There's a Psychic Ascension. I'd like to make a candle. And yeah, I'm just going to do this now. Make a candle. Champ power, make a random action. Slash and dash, yep. Let's go. It's a little bit bad against Massacre, but most of my things are bad against Massacre here. Well, I guess if they Massacre, Oh, if they From the Ashes, this is lethal? Is that true? That might not be true. Not actually sure. From the Ashes hit me for 7. See if they attack. They do. There's the Massacre. Wait, that was a terrible attack on their part, right? Because I blocked, like I killed their thing. I feel like you're supposed to Massacre before I attack there. Candle Crush. Illuminate 1, deal 1 damage to... Sure. Alright, well, somehow, and by somehow I mean we're playing Sapphire finishers, so our finishers are better than theirs. We've clawed our way back into this game. Psychic Ascension will do that. So they could get a resource and guarantee a verdict. That seems loose. Probably want a non-resource here. Yep, and that's kind of scary. I mean, they've got we are only at 8, so hopefully we find some removal. Hopefully we find some removal. Brood Net, Exhauster. Yep, that's removal. We got Discombobulate for the next card they play. Gonna be dead very quickly. Going on, cruising in. They're still dead on board through this, right? So I shouldn't discombobulate because they could get something that makes them not dead on board. Alright, so control deck with constant. So Disruptor Drone, Berk to the Ancient King. Stifling Sting is awesome because it kills Bride and Vampire Prince, but it also is an interrupt, which is just insane for us. I'm trim a Dark Heart. I'm gonna cut Scars. And cut Return to Cinder. Fortress is great. Candlelight is great. I'll still want to trim here. This Flame Barrage is not good enough. What troops did they play? Do I need these Dingles? They really didn't play any troops, right? It was like Bride and I guess being able to Dingle Bride isn't terrible. I've got like Sting and Discombobulate and Sabretooth. I can trim a Sabretooth. I don't need as many Flame Barrages. Just like split the difference on these. Seems fine. Killing Prince on the draw is pretty important. Say I have a Sabretooth too. Better gems for this. Gladiator. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put. Do I want to put Gladiator in that? Nah, Astral Strike's probably better. It lets it attack into Bride. Alright, got a good smattering of stuff. Worth noting that Disruptor Drone plus Runebind basically interrupts any card, because you can Runebind it into a constant and then Disruptor Drone to destroy it. That sounds pretty good. Needs a couple resources, but it's pretty great other than that. Everyone's having a good evening or morning or night wherever you're at. Gobble gobble. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Happy, warm, family filled, all that jazz. Again, 2-6. Yep. Happy to keep. And I think we were even worse off that game because I punted that turn with the Dark Heart. This, make a Sapphire. Probably go this, make a Ruby next turn. And Flame Barrage a Prince that they won't be able to play. Okay, so do I want to... I'm gonna play this. This way I can verdict a ZX Judgment here. Like, do I really care about a ZX Judgment? Maybe I don't. On 2. I probably want to save this for some of their constants. Probably just change course here to see, depending on what they do. That's not a resource for a ZX Judgment. Sweet. Candlelight versus resource. I already have a Candlelight in my hand, so I'm going to grab the resource that guarantees me more resources here. Just want to hit like my first 6 guaranteed. Yep, so I'm going to play this and guarantee another resource on top of my deck. Actually, it's possible I'm just supposed to play this, just like get a feel for what I could draw naturally. I know it's pretty small either way. I'm probably going to want to Fate Weave there. Interesting that opponent's playing coins. I haven't felt any desire to put coins in any of my decks this season. It's just like, I need, like this deck's playing slow shards even. So it's like, oh, huh. I think I'm pretty obligated versus. It's sad that if I had the guaranteed non-slow shard, I'd just like let that happen and then like untap and slam Darkheart and kill it and like give them the one verdict. But I think without the guaranteed shard, I'm supposed to wait. And now, like, I get to play Darkheart on 5 with Runebind up, so, like, that's ultimately better for us, too. We're really lucky they're going to play something like Zedek's Judgment here. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine, too. Have a Nightfall. Just going to Flame Barrage this Dorko. Deals 3. Play the Darkheart out. Again, I'm going to play it with this resource. Maybe I'm just supposed to play the Slow Shard and pass there so I can guaranteed Candlelight on 6. I could Strangle here. No Strangle is great for us. What you got? Let's talk about my friend Runebind here. I have a Daybreak. Okay, it's kind of annoying. I agree. Someone was asking earlier why I play Mono Blood over... I guess I have a Fate Weave here, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna do this and not Fate Weave so that way I can Candlelight this turn. They don't try and kill my Darkheart, I'm gonna Candlelight. I could have played the Ice to guarantee a resource on top of my deck so they draw a brick with this Journey into Nightmare, but I think I'd rather get the Candlelight going. Like my luck, they're gonna get something that kills the Darkheart off my deck. Okay, this resolves. Okay. Probably off of my deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and Candlelight this, and then on my turn I'll Sting the drone, and then the Darkheart will get to kill. We'll get to kill this. I'm gonna ice a resource to the top of my deck because even though they're gonna have to sacrifice this next turn, they are still gonna get to trigger off of it. Put a resource on top for my opponent to draw. So they lose that, and they draw the top card of my deck. Enjoy your shard. God save the Darkheart. Yeah, I have 2 Hero Falls, that's fine. I mean, like, I've resolved Candlelight, right? So, like, they've got 1 card in hand to my 1 card, 2 candles. It's fine. I'll just discard the Sting. God, every time. Bounty of the Magus just, like, does not like Sharpshooter Sahas. Or Sahas doesn't like Bounty of the Magus. Let me tell you what cards Sahas likes to get rid of. What do you got? It's gonna be like From the Ashes or something here. Time for a new champion. The health total is just so appealing. More important than bounty, right? I mean, like, to be fair, if we were playing a different champion, we just wouldn't have gotten to that bounty, right? Stifling Stinging Zedek's Judgment feels so fucking good. It's just like 3U counter your card. I love Stifling Sting was one of those cards when it got spoiled. It's just like, man, I really want to play this card. I really want to play this card. Right, they should be pretty dead here. We get this Discombobulate in this Runebind now. Stop it. Make my candles bigger, please. I would like to make my candles lethal, please. They're conceding because that bounty will illuminate, and then my candles will go up to 3/3s. This looks kind of sweet. All right, let's try one more. Let's try one more. Yeah, we're gonna try a lot of different things. Play one more match with this, and then if Christy still isn't home, we'll queue up a couple with the mill deck. Nah, I'm gonna stick with Sahas for a little bit. You know, for science. Let's say for science. Would you say the candles deck is lit? I would. It's a dank lit meme. I'm so excited. We didn't have pumpkin pie with dinner. Christy's bringing me home pumpkin pie when she goes out shopping. Pie. As a simple fat American, I love pie. I'm back. We haven't even started playing your mill deck yet, Klutz. We're playing one more with Ruby Sapphire control, and then I'm gonna punt the ever living crap out of your mill deck. I'm gonna make a note here. Someone remind me to select a battle board and sleeve with the mill deck. Okay, sweet. Opponent's playing Angus the Arsonist, and sweet. We got Flame Barrage here on one. I'm gonna put a non-resource on top of my deck here. Nah, let's just guarantee 4. Just guarantee 4. I'm excited to see how this deck lines up against these aggressive decks because, like, the fact that we get to play Flame Barrage and Return to Cinder, and I've got a third Return to Cinder on my board, so we get 7 1-cost pieces of quick speed interaction, seems really powerful and makes me feel like on paper, I feel like it means that this deck's going to be able to be competitive against these aggressive decks where this archetype couldn't previously be. Howdy, Geo. It's a thing. You spent 2 resources. I'll spend 1 to get rid of it. Feels good. No damages. Again, this is a type of matchup where, like, Sahas's health total is going to be really, really relevant. Darkheart, probably pretty good. Yeah, I didn't want any double Sapphire cards in my deck, and I wanted an interrupt on 3, so I'm trying Discombobulate out. The extra chaff card that Discombobulate generates. Whoa! Whoa! When they play a non-standard resource, it deals 3. So I played a Ruby Shard last turn. Well, Darkheart's going to kill this. We're probably going to take 3 from a Shard here. Yeah, we are. Alright. Grab an Ice. So, I guess now that we know to play around this, I will favor playing my non-standard resources first. Thanks. So we take a hit from 3 for playing the non-standard resource there. Play the Darkheart out. The Darkheart's got Swift Strike, which is pretty good. Opponent has to sacrifice a non-socketed card here, so the Fiery Justice card is going to go away. It might be a little bit loose. It's possible I should have just, like, discombobulated the Fiery Justice card, but, like, if we get to ready with this Darkheart, it's probably going to be lights out with the Discombobulate and the Runebind. I feel like Jane is a typo, but I don't know what. Is that Jank? Is it supposed to be Jank? Okay. Like Mono Ruby Jank, sure. Hopefully Mono Ruby Jank means my Darkheart's gonna live. I'm just kind of mesmerized by the fire on my Sabretooth. The old AAA cards. Some digital clients have ugly looking foils. Hex has animated art cards. Frostfang Cackler, sure. That just like straight up doesn't do anything, right? It like chump blocks for a turn. I'm gonna put a non-resource on top. There's no reason for me to attack here because they get a free chump block and they're gonna lose because they're gonna lose this anyways. So I might as well like leave this back on defense. Sure. Dark Heart hanging out, getting infinite value. Here's his friendo. Dark Heart dose. When it packs it into the second Dark Heart. Alright, let's bring in Cinder, the extra Sabretooth. I'm gonna cut the Psychic Ascension. Discombobulates are probably a little slow. Stifling Sting's probably great. Verdict's probably a little slow. I could see a world where cutting Bounty of the Magus is correct. Yeah, basically, Geo. And actually, they just started expanding on like having cards that do things based on your charge power. But the charge is actually a really neat mechanic too, because it lets them balance like more powerful resources too by like having a resource that gives you an effect, but it doesn't give you a charge. So it's like a really elegant design space. And it's like one of the things I really like about Hex is that while they do have a lot of great digital design, they also just have a lot of quality, just like this is just good TCG design. And like Magic could do this, but they don't for whatever reason. Like I always try to like make a point to try almost every digital TCG that comes, almost every digital card game that comes out, and Hex was always the one I gravitate back towards. What's the Yeti getting in the board for? It's a kill you against mill. It's a card that kills mill. It seems like pretty good, right? It's got a Flame Barrage and a Scars of War. Yeah, Artifact could be interesting. We'll see what they do. I feel like Valve's one of the few companies that could like put out a card game and like not automatically feel the need to like carbon copy the Hearthstone model that's like mono greed. Please be a 1D. No play on 2. That's good for us. Alright, I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna put another resource on top of my deck because I would like to hopefully be able to have a non-slow shard in here at some point. I also think Yetigeddon is probably pretty reasonable against what's the word I'm searching for? Right, another ice. So I'm gonna play this Shard of Innovation this turn. This is a really small thing, but I'm gonna change course during my opponent's end step most likely, and you don't want to Fate Weave before you change course, and the reason for that is this is guaranteed to fix a draw. Whereas if I play it and then change course, I'm fixing 1/3 of a cantrip. Communion in Wax. Alright, well, that's scary. Into a Boltwing Phoenix. Well, that's... Yep. Okay. That's kind of terrifying. Okay. Need a Barrage. A Return to Cinder, I mean. Where are my Cinders at? It's a Flame Barrage. That's the card I said, but that's not actually what I need. I'm gonna grab a non-slow shard here so I can play this Dark card out and get rid of this Flame Wake. No, we basically know nothing about it. They just like posted a teaser and that was it. I could Scar the Bird and then Barrage when I come back. That's not a bad idea. Well, I guess this is kind of bad, right? This lets them just replay it every turn, and it gets bigger. Yeah, maybe that was bad. Huh. I've possibly made a huge mistake. I've likely made a huge mistake. Alright, they're just killing my Dark Heart, though. Deal. Put a non-resource on top of my deck here. Probably just Bounty of the Magus. Is dealing 2 right now. So if they play a 3/3 Phoenix, I can Bounty and then Flame Barrage it for 3. They're just playing like mono ruby stuff, huh? Alright, well they binned their Phoenix. Oh, the ladder. So like all the time people like message me decklist, they're like, I've been crushing on the ladder with this, and it's like, well, have you done like some formal testing with this deck idea that you've been crushing the ladder with? Because like there's a lot of things that are kind of suspect on the ladder. Man, we just cannot hit shards to save our life tonight, huh? And I might have slid out of my chair if I missed on that. Play this. I'm binning this Scars of War. I think I'm just binning this Scars of War. Yeah, that's one of the other things. It feels like one of the things Hex has been able to do, and like most non-Magic games can't do this successfully, it seems like, is like pushing, in order for a card game to be successful, you need to be like continually pushing out content, right? So like not having regular set releases is like the death of a card game. And a lot of them seem like they just like can't get regular releases out the door. And it's not easy, right? Like if it was easy, everyone would do it. It's unfortunate. I think I'm just gonna let him kill my Dark Heart with that. That's fine. That's a small UI thing that I wish Hex would change. When there's only one choice for an action, just default to choosing that choice for me. Don't make me click it. Because then they'd get to dome me for 3 immortals. They choose the mode upon resolution. So they'd get to dome me for 3 if I runebound that there. Which I wasn't really in the market for. Maybe I'm supposed to bounty and try and hit a shard there. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. My bounties are drawing all the cards. Good, 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 good. Alright. Alright. Can't even hold all of these cards in the most literal sense. I think I'm just getting rid of. Alright. This is a Ruby Sapphire control deck that I threw together before the stream started tonight. Please don't kill my Dark Heart. Hey, hats. Aha! You cannot Sabretooth my rune. I do need to be conscious of the fact that they have 2 champion powers in the bank here, basically. It's possible I shouldn't have boarded out my Psychic Ascension. I do still have a Candlelight in my deck, so like that's like our big over-the-top wing condition at the end here, but possible that was a mistake. Second Sabretooth, that's really unfortunate for us. Stifling Sting cannot interrupt that one. Alright, how about if I 7 you? Flame Barrage is really good. They're down to 3 cards. Like another bounty, please. Right? It's a win condition, I guess. Am I gonna hold this? Nah, let's just jam. Let's just kill him. Get him dead. Kinda sad that we burned the Dingle. If we were Psychic and knew a Sabretooth was coming, we wouldn't have burned the Dingle. Discarded Sabretooth earlier too, right? Unfortunate. Only we could fright. God, Flame Barrage would be so messed up. This, let's hit this. I got 3 cards that mostly do the same thing. Some new blood in here. Where's my bounty, the Magus? There it is. There's a Candlelight. Candlelight can go upstairs. That's gonna be great. Flame Barrage up to like a 10-pointer. 13. Yep. Down to 11. It's kind of scary. We're basically at 8 because they have a champion power. Can have a couple combination of cards that kill us here. It's probably not one of them. Heck, Avalanche, sure. It's gonna come to my turn here. But I can cast these ones with Illuminate on them. I'm gonna go and attack with this. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. All my other cards illuminate 1. What if their last cards were paused? That'd be kind of scary. Spontaneous combustion. That's a card. All right. So before blocks, we do this. We have a Sabretooth for lethal. 15 that. Summon a candle. Alright, we've bested Mono Ruby stuff. Three is not 0. And look, if we were playing a 21 health champion here, we'd lose the game. So things worth noting. If we were playing a 21 health champion, we'd have lost the game. We'd be at exactly 0 right now. It's okay, Hats. And you can resub next time you're at the computer.